Good afternoon everybody, and welcome to the first video, well, apart from the DPF tobacco that we've already done, of putting the Mazda back on the road. This heap of Japanese crap, but never mind. Now, if you watched the last video of the DPF when we were trying to run the engine up, the belt kept falling off. Oh, so we'll get down on the floor here. Now, I thought that it was the magnetic clutch that goes on here. There's part of it there. I didn't video taking it off. It's very easy to take off. If I grab this bit, this is a bit that's on the front. All you got to do is get a screwdriver, wedge it, or a spanner, or a bit of metal, anything, just wedge it across there. Wedge it under the roller or something. 10mm bolt goes in there. Ratchet in a socket, quick dink, and it's off. I couldn't have showed you the actual removal, correct removal, because after I've bought one of these, cost me 60 quid, the bit that was broke wasn't actually this. It's the actual aircon pump that's broke, and there's what broke. As you can see, it's a bit of cast aluminium and it's fractured. And there's the broken part, and there's a spline that the actual magnetic clutch engages. But anyhow, we messed around, I got it off. The circlips, there's two circlips inside. One came off relatively easy, the other one, it was like welded in there. It'd grown in kind of thing. Bit of corrosion, and it was the devil's own to get off. And I actually ended up breaking my circlip pliers undoing it. It broke the tip off, it was that tight. In the end I just prized it out with a screwdriver. Made a complete mess of the circlip, but I got it out. The bad news is, when the new magnetic clutch came from Autodoc, black mark against them, they didn't give me any replacement circlips. Now, what was the circlip cost? You know, like a penny each or something stupid? And they didn't put new ones in there, so I've got to use the old circlips. Now, I was going to put a new pump on. I was just going to get a new pump. Well, not a new one, a second-hand one from somewhere. I couldn't actually find one on eBay. There was one guy selling one on there for 45 quid, but it had sold. I missed it. So, what I'm going to try and do is actually stick this on, because a friend of mine, he told me that there's not actually any pressure from the belt on this spindle. It just lines it up. Just lines the clutch plate up. All the actual pressure from the belt is on the nut on the spline. Said so you should be able to get away with sticking it in place. And I don't know if I videoed it before when I was doing the DPF, but there was sort of that much play in it. And that was enough for the belt to come off. But that's how much play. That much, sort of like that, was how much play was in it, and that was enough for the belt to come off. So the majority of the holding is done with the bolt in the middle. So I'm hoping that it's going to stick. Now, I've bought JB Weld. Apparently that stuff is pretty much the strongest sort of glue you can get for metal, and it will stick anything. Pre-work I've done, there's a little pen mark there, and there's a little pen mark on there. That just lines it up so that we know. Yeah, it's in camera. That lines it up so that I know where it goes back on exactly. So when I put the weld on, and I've got a clamp to hold it. But anyway, you'll see that next. Oh, that's just a little piece of plastic I stuck in the end. It's a hose pipe thing, just for the clamp to get hold of. Right, because the clamp end is actually smaller than the diameter of that, so I needed something to fill the whole gap up with. Now, the JB Weld takes, it says cures in 6 hours, but that's at room temperature, and 24 to go off fully. So pretty much this is outside, so I'm just going to stick it on, clamp it in place, and then leave it for 48 hours. So if I leave it for double the time, hopefully it will go off, even in the colder temperatures. Anyhow, I'll pause the video there and I'll go and get the bits, and then we'll crack on and see what it comes out like. Right, so here's everything we'll need. We've got the JB Weld, screwdriver to mix it up, bit of cardboard, clamp, that's the bit to go on, and a pair of glasses so that I can see what I'm actually doing, because I'm as blind as a bat. I've also got a headlight on, but you can't see that. Prep, I've cleaned this with contact cleaner, and also that side there, so there's no grease or oil on it. All you people that love using brake cleaner, try a bit of contact cleaner. It's brilliant. It dissolves grease, oil, everything, and then it evaporates, so there's no trace of anything left. It's great stuff. But anyhow, we're going to mix up these, put a very small amount on with a screwdriver. You want to try and avoid getting this stuff on your skin if possible. It's not very good. It's particularly dangerous for your eyes as well, so bit of caution, but like most things, if you're sensible, you'll be fine. And then we're going to clamp it in place. I don't think I'm going to be able to video actually doing it, but you'll be able to see what I do as I go anyway. So pause that again and I'll open up the stuff. So I've taken the JB weld out of the pack, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see it in there, should be able to. There's a triangle thing, you've got to pierce the end. So we'll do that, and then we'll start mixing some up. So here you are, as you can see I've put a couple of little bits in there. I haven't put a lot because I'm not going to need a lot. Again, there's no way I can mix that and hold the camera. So as you can see I've smothered the stuff all around, not very thick. I've kept it as thin as possible. The stuff that's overlapping around the outside I'll try and wipe off after I've put it on, because I'm sure more will squeeze out. I'm a bit worried some's going to squeeze inside and foul that inside, but we'll just have to wait and see. For the record, before I even start this, I don't think it's going to work, but other people say it will, so I'm prepared to give it a go. Right, there you go. As you can see, my line lines up. You can just see the crack with the stuff coming out. The only stuff that's really spurted out is on the back bit, and you can see there's nothing actually travels on that because it's corroded. It's only that bit there that has anything on it, and that looks pretty clean, so we'll be okay for that. Clamps holding it in place, so I am just going to leave that now for 2 days. I think you can see it pretty much all the way around there. As you can see, it's come out around the edges, but it's at the back. Nothing much to hold on. Oh, there is 3 screws as well on this that holds the plate on as well. But again, they're only Phillips and they're relatively easy to undo. I did have to get an impact driver on the top one. That was quite tough, but the bottom 2, they came out just with a normal screwdriver. But that's pretty much it now. We'll leave this 2 days. So the next clip will be instant for you, but it will be 2 days for me. And then we'll try putting it back together, get the belt on and see if the thing actually works. But see you in a bit. Right guys, through the magic of YouTube, it's been 48 hours. And I'm about to undo the clamp. For the record, I think it's going to fall straight off. Let's hope I'm wrong. Yesterday, at around the 25-hour mark, I came out and I put my finger on here where there was some of the excess stuff sticking out, which now is actually rock hard. But yesterday, at the 25-hour mark, I was actually able to pull a piece off and roll it between my finger and thumb, and it turned into a ball. It was still soft. And remember, according to the instructions, it's supposed to fully cure. It's supposed to go hard in 6 and fully cure in 24. Temperatures, it's been, when I put it on, it was about 2-3 degrees. It's stayed at, overnight it went down to about 1.5. Yesterday it actually went up to 7 degrees, so I'm hoping that was warm enough for the stuff to actually go off properly. But anyway, moment of truth. We'll undo this. Oh, well, it stayed there, it didn't fall straight off. That's something, I suppose. Hey! I reckon that's going to be alright. Guys, I am shocked. I am surprised. That's solid as anything. That's good enough for me to try putting the thing back together and see if it'll actually hold. So I'll get a pair of pliers, get that bit of plastic out, and I think we'll start putting it back together. But yeah, I'm actually quite impressed. Actually, I'm very impressed. I really did not think that would stick like that. Yeah. Right, slight problem. I've taken it off, just taken the cap off, and this centre spline will not spin now. I've got a feeling I must have got a bit of stuff on it. So I'm going to have to be careful putting anything on that and trying to turn it as well, because I don't want to damage the spline. But yeah, I'll go and get a pair of pliers and see if I can turn that. Right, I've been and got a pair of pliers. Let's see if this will actually turn. Oh yeah, it's turning with the pliers. I don't know if the camera can see that, but I can. Yeah, that's turning. I can't turn it with my fingers, but it's turning with the pliers, so that's good enough. Right, we shall start putting it back together with the nice new bits. If I can remember how I took it apart. Look at this, guys, shiny new parts. New pair of circlip pliers I had to buy because I broke the old pair getting it off. There's the bit where the belt goes on. Over there, that's the bit the bolts on, so I think I've got to put this bit on first. Pretty sure this bit goes on first. And then that plugs in, there's a plug in, that's like a cap over the plug, just to protect it. That bit goes on first. And here's the bit that goes on the outside, the bit that actually goes that way round. That's the bit that actually engages for the aircon. When it's running, that doesn't turn, and when you press the aircon button, that starts to spin. That's the actual bit that gets activated by the magnet. And then all the bits that I took off are in there. Look at the state of that circlip. Don't know if that's salvageable. As you can see, it was nastily corroded, and I had fun getting it out. But we'll try and bend it back into shape. Spring steel's usually pretty strong. You can get away with a lot with it normally. They're the 3 screws that hold that back plate on, and then the whole thing is supported by that in the middle. Like I said, a little 10mm bolt, that's it. Don't think there's anything else in there. Nope, that's it. And an auto dock box. But anyhow, we'll go and get a screwdriver and let's see if a bit fits first. But I didn't get anything over the outside. Let's see if it actually goes on first. Yeah, I think that goes on okay. Yeah, there's no, what is it? Hang on. Yeah, can't really see what I'm doing here when I'm holding the camera. Let's try swapping hands. Hang on a sec. I wonder if it matters what way up this goes. I don't suppose it does really. Well, there's no locators or anything on there, it's just round. I suppose logically that wants to go at the bottom. Yeah, that's sitting flush. You just got to line the screw holes up. Yeah, that'll be fine. So I've stuck the top screw in there. It's just in there, not even finger tight. It's just a couple of turns, just to hold that on there, so I can get the next 2 in, and we'll go from there. So here we are at the end of the video, guys. Like I said, the repair failed. I've had a hell of a game trying to get the plate back on with the 3 screws. Wouldn't line up. So I figured I'd just put this on and just use the circlip around it and just run the belt so that I could get it going and not worry about the aircon for the time being, as it's the middle of winter. And as I was banging on the old flywheel, it just gave out. So yep, it's definitely a new aircon pump. I'm not going to bother trying to stick it again. I don't know if you can pick it up or not, but the JB weld hasn't even stuck to this side. Virtually not at all. There's none on there. It's all come off on that bit there. So we're just going to call that quits and get a new pump. So the saga goes on. I should have just scrapped the bloody thing. I really should have. Anyway, till the next one. Bye for now.